BobbethTV is live. You know what that means. We've got some more racing action coming your way tonight. It is round 8, the final round of the Gen3 V8 Supercar series for the 420 Oz Sim Racing League. I almost lost my train of thought for a second there. Let's get over to the actual race screen, get some info up there on our screens. We see when it comes up. There it is. All right, there's the great Okayama International Circuit. We're in Okayama Prefecture, Japan. We're racing the full course configuration there. So you do see, what's that? It's about full course. Let's see. Full course is 3.7 kilometers with 11 turns. About altitude of 266 meters, but not a great sort of altitude on the track, like a high climb. Now, it is an advanced rookie series generally in iRacing for road racing and multi-class events. It is a technical circuit with a mix of medium speed corners and hairpins, with ideal for learning car control and racing fundamentals. So I think we should see a good time here tonight. But I don't know if you can notice that in the background, all that mist. That is the rain. The rain is falling hard here today in Japan. So the boys just having to deal with that. We're in the middle of qualifying at the moment. Ryan Hunter, 1 minute 41.503 was the quick time. Joshua Rimmer, his teammate, there in second. Stephen Vargas got the third quickest time, with Luke Fallon and Vladimir Shumilov in fourth and fifth. Kelvinder Singh in sixth. Alex Court's currently seventh quickest. Peter Van Wingard in eighth quickest. Jackson Sufong is currently ninth quickest, and 10th quickest is Jackson Sufong, because Ben Mead just moved himself up into ninth quickest with a 1:4.443. It's going to beat that 1 minute 44.631 for Jackson Sufong. Push Rob Chandler back to 11th, 12th behind him is Ram Jam. Cliff Potter, Yuha Cirilla in 13th. Wayne Rogers currently 14th quickest. Hayden Watson 15th quickest. And 16th quickest Wade Georgeson with a 1:53.390. So there's the bookends for qualifying. 1:41.503 is the time to beat. 1:53.390 is the minimum. There's Ben Mead on our screens. All right, so I tried to prepare a little bit of an intro script to make these a bit more informational. But I'm terrible at it, so we'll see how we go. But basically, obviously we're here at the legendary Okayama International Circuit, and this is one of iRacing's most iconic and accessible road courses. It's a free track. Doesn't cost a cent to own this one in this sim, so it is a very accessible track. Now, originally it was opened in 1990 and formerly known as the T-Circuit AIDA. It's a 3.7 kilometer track. It's seen everything from Formula One to grassroots touring car actions. Obviously today, Okayama's technical layout will push the V8 Supercars here, the Gen3s, to the edge. There are some overtaking zones. You've got Hobbs Hairpin, you've got tricky elevation through Williams Corner, and no room for error in the tight infield sections. I have been told, and I just have to recheck my other notes because I didn't compile them together tonight. It is at 50% fuel today, so one stop is possibly it, but it is wet. So that is going to play into it. But one stop, 50% fuel is the likely scenario with the pit strategy. Now, obviously, as we can see, there's Yuha there on our screens. He's got, who is that ahead of him? Wade Georgeson. It's a narrow, fast, tight track. We're going to see a lot of side-by-side battles. Probably some last-minute braking, late-minute braking into the turns. And I reckon probably the best track to test the drivers after their their 7th race season prior. But it is definitely going to be exciting. The Gen3 is not aerodynamic, so twisty turns. Already putting on the back foot. It is wet. Look how much mist is whipping up off that track. Already had a talk to the boys. Won't spill the beans too much on their night and things like that, but they have booked me in for a separate night. So not sure if the Sunday night series will continue or if they'll do a different division. But there is another night that we have booked coming up at the end of June. So we will be seeing a lot more at the 420 Austin Racing League on BobbethTV. There's Kelvin Singh on our screens. That was Alex. I should have swallowed all my coffee when I tried to say Alex Court's name. Only a minute to go in qualifying. There will be a 5-minute warm-up session just so the boys can get back out there and sort of see what that slightly more, I guess, you set yourself for like a few laps, about 3 or 4 laps in this sort of conditions. Obviously, seeing what the car operates like with a full tank of fuel and all of that, sort of 50% full tank of fuel, things like that, any setup changes they need to make. But it looks like we do have our order for this 16 car field set up. As we said, Ryan Hunter all the way up the top there, Wade Georgeson at the other end, but has got it a few seconds in. It was, I think, 151 or 153. It's now 148.527. So just a little over 7 seconds between first and 16th place. So we'll say what, an average of say what 1 minute say 1 minute 44. Let's see if we can work out the laps. All right, so 34 and a half laps-ish. 34-ish laps is the projected lap count, so that would put our pit window. Say 34.6 laps. Calculate that. There we go. 50% fuel. Forgot to run that. All right, here we go. Where's my little readout? It's only a one-stopper. So 26 laps seems to be the max stint in a 34-lap race. So a lot of opportunities to go very early. 17 laps. You could split it into 2 stints. I wouldn't do 2 stints. Laps 14 to 19 gives you margin for tyre wear, traffic, and strategy flexibility. Stopping too early, so before lap 13, risks running out of fuel unless you save aggressively. So that sort of gives us an idea of where everyone sort of stands. Roughly 34-lap race. We're looking at one pit stop around 14 to 19. If you go earlier than that, you will need to hold it up. All right, warm-up is up. This is pretty much the last chance, folks, before we get into this hour-long race with the Gen3 V8 Supercars here at Okayama International Circuit, 420 Austin Racing League. Last chance to grab a drink, stretch those legs, get some snacks. Let me know in the chat who you're going for. Let me know if we need to do anything with the audio. But we're starting to see some people roll out. The 117 is out there. We see him on the track map. That is Joshua Rimmer. We see the 696 Yuha Cirillo. We know him. No one love him. Let's see who is in front of Yuha. The 12, Ben Mead, Mr. Ben Mead there. The 16's looking to roll out there. That's going to be Kelvin Singh. I'm watching that via the track map, not at the screen. Wade Georgeson. A lot of cars going out for warm-up. There's only 5 on the track. You are there just having little issues with the traction, the throttle control. A little too much throttle and that wheel won't grip. It'll spin, especially with all the wetness. Jackson Sufong going for 8. Of course he is. That is, of course, Jackson Sufong out on the track. Little word, hey mate, did you use the live timing from earlier in the week from one of... Oh, I forgot about that. I did say I was going to steal that, and then I got some other stuff as well linked. That was quite cool. What was I doing? Yeah, timing. So, yeah, so the boys run practice sessions throughout the week. A lot of them sort of emulate the settings from the server and just put up their own, but where was it? There was a bit of a racing session held, and we got some good stats out of some good times and information. I was like, I'm going to steal that. Just because I do enjoy the layout. The thing I got linked was the iRacing one. I like these colours better. All right, give me a sec. Let me just see if I can't. Get those up on your screen so we can sort of talk about them while we actually see them. A couple of guys having a bit of an issue there with the wet and the corners. That's Joshua Rimmer. Oh, that's way too big. I don't think it's going to work. No, it's not, unfortunately. But I can read from them. So basically, Peter Van Wingard, he had the quick time on the practice session with a 1 minute 43.969, 1 minute 44.204 for Luke Fallon. Yuha with a 1:44.422. Ram Jam had a 1:45.379. Hayden Watson 1:45.611. Jackson Sufong 1:47.459. Frankie had 1:48.583 and Wade Georgeson 1:58.396. Haven't got any times on the board just yet. Oh yeah, there we go. 1:45.92, 1:47.879. Oh, I know what I can do. Let's go to. I was going to go to the qualifying results, but that won't show the proper times they got. All right, looks like warm-up has wrapped up. We're going to get straight to the grid for this one because they do not mess around in getting these races started. That's the one thing I have learnt. My camera controls do not want to work. There we go. Awesome. All right, on that front row, Ryan Hunter and Joshua Rimmer as that rain starts to bucket down again. That is not a good sign for the guys on the track. Luke Fallon and Stephen Varga on that second row. Vladimir Shumilov and Alex Court, third row. Kelvin Singh and Peter Van Wingard on that fourth row. Fifth row is going to be Ben Mead and Rob Chandler. below them on that 6th row. Yuha Cirillo, Jackson Sufong. Then it's Hayden Watson and Cliff Potter on that 7th row. 8th row is going to be Wayne Rogers and Wade Georgeson. And looks like Jacob Trainer. We do have a 17th driver lining up potentially on the rear of that field. I don't think he's taking the track though. So we'll settle for a 16-car field. All right, as you see, this one is, they don't waste time in getting this race up and going. Dr. Blaz, Darren Mart in the chat, YouTube. Check him out, Sip Chat Play on Twitch. BobbethTV for the win. Appreciate the kind words. He's a comedian, actor, writer, internet personality. Logan Paul wishes he was Darren Mart. He's got more thumbs, more pies. I need to have those cool pictures you pop up, Daz. All right, coming down the longest part of the track, and the track I think that the guys will gain the most advantage in passing. Oh, we did see a big crash in the mist up the back, but it's going to come down to a very tight hairpin turn, which is going to lead into a the left-hander. A series of left-handers and then a series of hairpins. So bit of a danger zone, that one. You're going to come flying down. It's going to be very easy to carry a lot of speed into that turn. Here, Joshua Rimmers, our race leader. Ryan Hunter, our quick time pole position starter, in 2nd. Luke Fallon's back there in 3rd place. Stephen Varga and Vladimir Shumilov in 4th and 5th. Alex Cord, Jackson Sufong, Kelfender Singh, Yuha Cirillo, Cliff Potter, Hayden is the 10, sorry. Hayden Potter, Peter Van Winkle, Wayne Rogers, Wade George and Rob Chandler, the 15. Looks like Ben Mead back in the pits. Just check and see if started in the pits. Nah, it looks like he had a bit of issues on that first lap. Got himself into the... Yeah, look at that car. He is the gentleman that we did see crash in the background in all of that mist. Let's see if we can't... I'm sorry, Ben, if you do have friends watching, we are going to go back and watch that crash if I have it. I don't think I have it, though. You are saved by the... This one, maybe? Let's have a quick replay. Oh, there it was. He had a little bit of car contact and it just threw him into the wall. Unfortunately, no fault of his own, though. Hopefully he gets that car back out on the track. Let's get to some fancy cams. What do you reckon? We'll look around the track and see what is going on. Good shot of the hairpin here as they come down and around for the back right-hander. Watching as they're driving into the turns, watching those guys in the lead pack taking off into the distance. Contrasting positions in this race. One pit stop required though, so let's see where they do it. So pit window, of course, was lap 14 to 19. But given the average sort of fuel consumption, about 25 laps maximum out of those 50, out of that 50% fuel tank. There's Kelvin, seeing one of the newer drivers here tonight. Currently in 7th place. Is currently sitting at where he started in this race. Started in 7th. Well, they are racing hard. That car on the inside was under brakes, and they were very competitive down that outside run. Kelvinder and Jackson. Behind them, Cliff Potter, who I believe was the man conceding that spot. Hayden Watson here in 11th with Peter Van Wingard behind him. Peter Van Wingard started in 8th but has fallen back to 12th, so he is definitely looking like He wants to get a few of those positions back. But God, that missed. Let's jump into the cockpit of someone and just see if that mist really is like this is what they see. You see some of that mist, like right there. It wasn't too bad, a little bit of visibility, but you could definitely see it getting thick as we watch Cliff Potter make a pass there, and Juha Surreal might have carried a little bit too much speed. Nope, he is going to carry that through that turn beautifully. Bob, shut up and watch. You can see that window wiper. It is working overtime for the lads here today. Ben Mead back out on the track. Oh, what did I find out today? Speaking of my love for Yuha, he's a great bloke. Great bloke. Always happens. Always find a few that, I love you. You're great. I've really enjoyed broadcasting, 5 of these 8 races, and looking forward to the many more that are going to be coming along. But yeah, there's just this sometimes weird little funny connections you make with people, whoever. And with Yuha, it was definitely the trying to make sure I got his name correct. And then I sort of thought, and I get it. If you say to an Australian, you're a Kiwi, or you say to American, they're Canadian, they get all arced up. So I keep referring to Juha as Swedish, as that from Sweden, and he's actually from Finland. And there's a friendly rivalry there, so he does enjoy it. He doesn't take offense to it. But yeah, so I found that out today that I've been incorrectly attributing to Sweden. And he's actually a Finnish person from Finland, so I apologise. He loved it. He thought it was funny. They do have that friendly rivalry. So, but no, good to know. Sweden's favourite Finland driver. You mean you don't look at the flags? No, what I just exposed, Griff, actually, and welcome to the chat, is that my lack of what actual flags are and what country they belong to is not as complete as you might assume, maybe, I guess. No, I'm shit. I used to be really good with the flags, but nah. Or maybe it's my colourblind coming through. Swedish flag is yellow. No, appreciate it. But yeah, so for Griff's example, it'd be like calling him Scottish. No. Sorry, Griff. Don't beat me up. Oh, KC McLean, sorry, brother, thank you for the like. Interceptor for the follow as well. KC McLean, you can check him out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday mornings, Australian, on BobbethTV via the Knucklehead iRacing League. They're coming up into their last 6 weeks of championship racing themselves. Scottish flag is tilted. Yeah, look, no, I was more just, doing the lazy stereotyping, Australians call them Kiwis or Kiwis from Australia. Americans, Canada was the other one. Lap 6 underway. We're almost to 6 of this race in. The first 10 minutes just about up. Joshua Rimmer still our race leader from our pole position starter, Ryan Hunter. Luke Fallon, Stephen Varga and Alex Court in their 3rd, 4th and 5th place battles. Vladimir Shumilov has moved back to 6th place in front of Kelvinder Singh. Jackson Sufong there in 8th, ahead of Kelvinder in 7th. Sorry, Cliff Potter in 9th. Juha in 10th. Peter Van Wingard, Hayden Watson, Wayne Rogers, Rob Chandler, Wade Georgeson and Ben Mead 11 to 16 as this race continues. I wonder if the rain eases up. It looks like it has stopped raining, like it's not really bucketing down like it was at the starting grid, but there's obviously a lot of water on that track, as you can see the mist kicking up still. Your two flags are practically the same, but no, they're not. Look at first place and look at second place. They are totally different flags, man. How could you not tell the difference between those two flags? Alex caught there. Vladimir Shumilov just behind him. It looks like Kelvinder Singh not that far back behind them either. Only like at 2.5 seconds. There's Alex and Vladimir. There's Kelvinder. But no, it is kind of cool coming into an Australian division because it's an Australian league. I've always very much wanted to commentate Australian stuff, and this is my second Australian league I've ever commentated. Surprisingly, a lot more American leagues. Yeah, looking at the flags and you know, counting New Zealand as international, it's almost 50-50 in terms of the Australians versus the world type of situation. Griff says in Twitch, one is missing a big star under our flag. That's the only difference, but not sure which one is which. The one with the big star under your flag's ours, and the one without it is yours. There's New Zealand's. So right now, the Aussies are winning. They're leading the race. Kiwis are in second. That guy, Luke Fallon's in third. Did you guess the other way, to be honest? It's just the same flag, but we've just got the butthole star on it. Griff the Merciless. Go, Fallon. Leaderboard. I know we're not watching that particular area of the track, but Luke Fallon only, what's that, just under 2 seconds off Ryan Hunter, so that top 3 positions, that podium, not sorted by any means. Like I say, still at least one pit, 50% fuel, so they can get to lap 25-ish, I believe, if my math is correct. But it does put that preferred sort of pit window around lap 14 to 19. There's some of that side-by-side battles we're going to be seeing a bit of. Probably not as much as we'd like because of the rain, but we will see them. Camera coming a little bit tighter. Great shot of the rooftop. That straightaway cam is not wonderful. Oh no! I just remembered that I'll quickly do something I forgot to do earlier, and I'm wondering if... Yeah, look at that. Is it that one? No, it's this one. Now I possibly have like a crap ton more cams. I'm gonna lose the other ones. I shouldn't have done that then. Alright, let's just fix that up real quick. Sorry guys, I should have done this before I went live. There we go, we are back. This is Vladimir Shumilov there. In front of him, the black and purple car is Alex Court. The one behind him, Kelvinder Singh. That is 5th, 6th and 7th places there. Oh, we've lost. That's even worse on that one. Side-by-side battle into that first right-hander after the start-finish line. Welcome to the league, Vladimir. I think you've had one more race prior to this, but certainly out-swinging, driving like he's supposed to be here. Definitely carrying some speed. Let's get the old dashboard up. Have a look at what their sort of speeds they're achieving here. We saw Vladimir hit about 235 there before he started to bring it down through the gears onto the brakes to come through the hairpin turn. A little bit higher on that, on the bumpy stuff than he would have liked. That can bring you a little bit unstuck there. Surreal, Peter Van Wingard just back there behind him. Cliff Potter up there in front. It's Ram Jam, Yuha and Peter coming around on their 10th lap. Yeah, that shed is just, it's horrible. I've made it worse. Top 5 has had a slight change. Joshua Rimmer, Ryan Hunter and Luke Fallon, 1, 2 and 3. Stephen Varga still in that starting position of 4th. Vladimir Shumilov has managed to get himself back up to his starting position of 5th. Moves Alex Court back to his starting position of 6th. Kelvinder Singh in 7th. Jackson Sufong just ahead of this pack here. That's Yuha Cirilla and Cliff Potter. Peter Van Wingard back there behind those two in 11th place. The race down at the backstretch, the longest part of the track. Fastest part, but it also comes into a pretty mean right-hand hairpin. Guys have no concerns with, just rolling through there nice and casually. Might have been others. We've only seen really the one crash so far, and that was just a couple of cars getting side by side, getting locked up, and inevitably there's always one car that's going to get pit sort of off the situation, and that was Ben Mead. Is a lap down now. Raced his way back in. He should pick some of that back up when we get to the pit window. But, right now, I don't think anyone will be stressing too much. Just making sure they are healthy on the tyres, on the fuel consumption, things like that. See, those poor wipers still working overtime. It is a very wet Sunday evening. Okayama International Circuit. Japan is our host for the final race for the 420 Sim Racing League. This is Gen 3 V8 Supercars. 8 rounds of racing action. Ryan Hunter is the points leader. Don't want to jinx him, but if he was to fall considerably down the field, Josh Rimmer. Sorry, if Ryan Hunter was to do that, Josh Rimmer was to keep up with this win, then he would conceivably take those points. 7-2-3, Peter Van Wingard. Looks like something happened to him. He managed to bring it to a stop pretty quickly there in the background. Cliff Potter and Peter Van Wingard start their 12th lap. We are coming up on the 20-minute mark of this race. A third of the race almost done and dusted. 2/3 still to come on BobbethTV. We're coming up close on that pit window of around laps 14 to 19. I just need to step away from the microphone for 2 moments. I will be back. Enjoy the racing, guys. All right, I am back, and I hope I haven't missed too much. Sorry, I got mugs by some fans hanging out at the studio. They wanted some photos and autographs, gift basket, things like that. So held up. But Joshua Rimmer's still our race leader, lap 15, 24 minutes in. Feels like we're on Yuho when we left, so I'm wondering if cams have been updating much. Cracking my key in. Alex Court has retired, so yeah, we have missed some things, it looks like. He was names in that sort of top 5, top 6 battle. Hope whatever has taken him out of the race isn't too serious. Looks like he has crashed at one point. Looks like Kelvinda got past him of 6th place on lap 14, lap prior. Let's go have a look and see what happened to Alex Court there. Yeah, looks like the car just did not want to gain traction there. Went up into the wall. And I think Alex has called the wet weather a night. Boy, that swoosh sound is loud tonight. Try and turn it down. Great shots on some different variations of that hairpin. A bit of a side-by-side battle here with Yuha and is that Jackson? I do believe that's Jackson Sufong. Cliff Potter would be in the background as well then. Well, looks like Yuha got a bit loose there. Managed to recover it. It's a little bit of door banging there between Yuha and Jackson. You'd like to see it. It is a very loud whoosh, isn't it? I apologise because it's actually coming to you guys through my microphone, not through the normal sounds, isn't it? Or no, it'll come through the desktop as well. Yeah, of course, over the race sound. I'll figure out a way to disable it eventually. I might just try and find like the sound file in the program and just delete the MP3. We've sort of crept our way in to that pit window, so it is basically officially open. It's pretty much safe to go into the pits now and regain your 50% full tank and have enough to race through the finish. Jackson Sufong just, I guess, trying to cheat there, getting a bit of dirt in his tyres to make them a bit sticky, get that wetness out of them. But I think we're going to see some early movers. Looking for that undercut, try and get in a bit early, get back out and just race the rest of that race. Look, the smart play would be anywhere now to lap 19. It's going to give you a good solid stint without having to worry about too much fuel reserves, worry about wasting fuel, as well as that tyre. Now, of course, track position is going to be the thing. You don't want to sort of go in too early and have to come out late in the field and try and get your way back up the track. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Let's see who has pit. Have I missed a pit yet? Let's have a look. Let's get the pit laps to pop out on our screen. No, look, lap 14 for Alex Court when he retired. Lap 1, Ben Mead was that issue earlier in the race. Definitely not going to give him enough time for fuel. So we do have some pit strategy thinking coming up. Let's go up to the lead. Let's check out Joshua Rimmer up in the 117 machine up the front. Well, there we go. As we cut away, Jackson Sufong, he is going to be one of the first to go in the pits. Now, it really depends on the lead group now. They'll see that he's gone in via their relative, and they're going to want to hope that they can close that track gap, get in, get out, and not leave him enough room to sort of get a distance, to get a gap between them. It is going to be interesting. He's in 10th place right now, but as the cars start to pit, once he gets out, starts to get those spots back. Can the 8 machine take it out here at Okayama International Circuit? This is the full course 11-turn configuration. There's a lot of track these boys are racing. We can see it there in the bottom right of our screens. I've still got the dashboard on. I'll leave the dashboard on, actually. That's not a bad addition. Rav, how you going? Welcome in, brother. Twitch chat alive and well. Then we've got a bit of Facebook, a bit of YouTube. No, just YouTube. I don't think we've got Facebook tonight. So come on, boys and girls in Facebook land. Speak up. No. Hope everyone is enjoying the racing tonight. Where's the sheriff stream, brother? Look, I am a predominantly race commentating streamer. No, look, I try to do the whole FDG stuff. I don't like push to talk. I like to be able to talk to the chat as well as the people in the world, in the game. But being having to differentiate the two, I'm not a fan of. Are you winning, son? It doesn't work like that, Dad. I told you. But yeah, so I have streamed a couple of times in City, but nah, look, it's not something. It is something I want to do. I would love that content creator role because that would get a few more eyes on me. But yeah, look, I don't stream it enough to deserve it. Dinner's ready. Time to push. Oh my god! This every time. Thank God I don't live with them anymore. There is a Joshua Rimmer. You can see just back there behind him, less than a second, is his teammate Ryan Hunter, who is our points leader in this championship. Some more cars have been in the pits. Looks like Peter Van Wingard, that was a bit ready to come out. It is, as Joshua and Ryan roll past. Luke Fallon has entered into the pit lane, so he's the highest stopper so far in third place. But where's Jackson? Jackson's actually fallen back to 12th from his pit stop, so we'll see how many spots he picks up as some of those cars ahead of him start to pit. See the 15, Luke Fallon, just pulling up to the stop in the pits. Alex Cord out. Jacob Trainer did not take the track. Just the 15 cars for the final round of the Gen 3 V8 Supercars here tonight. Finishing it up in Japan. Well, you can see the little whippiness in the so even the guys up the front, these guys are leading the pack, but even they're struggling a little bit. You can see that throttle control just a little bit too much, and it just snaps out a little bit. You're gonna fight that back to get it straight and keep it going and keep that acceleration building. We saw with was it Jackson? It was someone where in practice or qualifying, I believe, where they couldn't get the acceleration down, where it just was. Oh, nice use of the wet in the corner there as they slid through that turn. But yeah, just put the foot down too much, and those tires, they spin. It doesn't quite give you traction. I hate that cam. I do hate this particular cam. Yeah, it didn't give him traction, and he's just always fighting it. Oh, I thought Joshua was fighting against that one. Might have been easier just to turn into it and just drift it around. We might see some of that soon. Let's have another look around the track as lap 20 is racing away. Over halfway in. About 50, I'd say about 15, 16 laps to go. All right, the camera crew telling me no, we're going to stay on the front too for a little bit longer, Bob, just because it is pretty exciting. It does seem to be something sort of boiling up here. But there is Wayne Rogers. He's got Hayden Watts in front of him. Rob Chandler back there just behind him. Could see Jackson Sufong slightly back there. There's Jackson. Not there, but just back there in the background. Wade Georgeson in the pits now. Stephen Varga, Luke Fallon, laps 17 and 18. Kelvina winning lap 19. Jackson, Peter Van Wingard, 16 and 17. Wade Georgeson here on the just prior to the 20th lap on the 19th lap. So we've still got the lead pack: Joshua Rimmer, Ryan Hunter, Vladimir Shumilov to pit, Juha, Cliff Potter, as well as Hayden Watson, Wayne Rogers, Robert Chandler. They do have till around lap 25-ish. If I did my math correctly, around lap 25. There I am. Sorry, just a bit of issue with some screenage there. Looks like Joshua Rimmer has gone into the pits. Teammate Ryan Hunter selected to stay out, as did Vladimir. Watson in 8th. Rob Chandler just back there behind him in 9th. Wayne Rogers also just back there behind them. Well, Rob going to try and go down low under brakes, but Hayden was not intimidated at all. He just went, "No, mate, I'm going here. It's all good, bruv." And just kept that car on its path. That is how you do it. Looks like the rain is starting to settle up. We're starting to see a few dry patches on the track, a few little puddles forming, and also little runs, little slippery, sort of almost slick streams. So the sun appears to be coming out for the, I guess, the last third of this race. Heading into the pits, he's going in to refuel, possibly get some new tyres. That is Vladimir Shumilov coming out of the pits there. Quite tell who that was driving on the outside of the track. There's Peter Van Wingard though. Jackson Sufong. Might have been a little bit of contact there. Peter just gaining some acceleration on him. Had to really back off. I think he had a little bit of a nose bump on him and then just fell back a lot after he hit those brakes. Cut that tree down, please. Lap 23 in the race. These boys here, Jackson, Sufong, Peter Van Wingard, yet to finish lap 22. Only a few more laps of sort of freedom left before they really do need to get into the pits, get that fuel refilled. I thought Jackson was going to race to that pit entrance, but no, stayed out, as did Peter. Rob Channel, the Cliff Potter, Ben Mead currently in the pits. So Joshua Rimmer, Ryan Hunter. I know Ryan went in. When did Josh go in? Josh went in 21, Ryan in 22. So you may have left any sort of run late to get an advantage on this late pit stop. And I don't know if anyone else is really going to be able to race their way up through the crowd. It is going to be a tight finish with about 12 laps to go. We might be in for a bit more of a battle here with Jackson and Peter Van Wingard. I see a lot less mist and water being spat up off the track. Still a fair bit. You can see that track clearly starting to dry out a lot. That rain has eased up considerably. Oh, Jackson is off the track. That might give that run to Peter. He does get himself back on the track, tries to get himself up to speed, but no, Peter Van Wingard does get that 723 machine up ahead of him. See that mixture of dirt and water there that's kicking up. Jackson is hellbent. He is going to push that car to its limits. Watch out, Peter. He is coming back. Joshua Rimmer and Ryan Hunter still going at it, but back to Jackson Sufong and Peter Wingard's battle. Peter Van Wingard, sorry, not Peter Wingard. I like how it jumped off of them for a little bit. It was just, no, we'll go back to them for a while. That is the 696 of Juha Cirillo, I believe, just up ahead of them. That is in 7th place. Vladimir Shumilov has headed into the pits. I think Juha's going to have to head in as well soon. But he knows what he's doing, I guess. Just the 8 cars on the lead lap. It's went first to 8th place. Ryan Hunter, of course, is our leader. Joshua Rimmer, Stephen Varga, Luke Fallon, and Kelvin Singh, Cirillo, Peter Van Wingard, and Jackson Sifong. So Vladimir Shumilov in 9th place. He's just got himself within that less than a lap down. Technically considered on the lead lap of 26. Does look like Ryan Hunter is going to be the Gen3 V8 Supercars champion for this season of the 420 Austin Racing League's competition. Definitely dominating the first few broadcasts we did for them. He was off for a race or two and then has come back strong. But looking through a lot of the past results, he does seem to be sort of the, how would you call it? It's sort of the, one of the more premier drivers in the division. He's got a bit of skill to hand down through the ranks. Stephen Varga there in third. Let's try to see where the 868 is, because I don't believe they're positional cars on either side of him. Just trying to get a number for him, but can't quite see who they are. I do recognise the light liveries, but I just can't put a name to them. One behind him could be Luke Fallon. I'm trying to think, who's Luke Fallon's teammate? Oh, Stephen Varga with the great pass. It looked like Luke Fallon was going to try and hang with him, but just carried a little bit too much speed. Oh, here we come around Mystery Mountain. We don't know who's going to come out the other side in the lead. It's Stephen Varga. Still can't quite tell who that other car is. One of them is definitely the 15, Luke Fallon. There he is there, but I just cannot remember who his teammate is. You get an idea on the number there. It's a 1. Is it the 17? It is. It's Rob Chandler. The 17, the 17 of Rob Chandler. He's in 10th. Luke Fallon, of course, 4th. Stephen Varga, 3rd. Got less than 15 minutes in this race. I don't think it's going to be any more than 35, but I think my math is wrong on the pit count anyway, because if we have a look, oh no, you did go in. I just didn't see him go into the pits. I was going like, I don't remember him going into the pits at all. Third and fourth, there's Yas Thriller, and back in sixth. I think is that the 5th place Govinda Singh up ahead of him. It might be. No, it's not. He's almost 50 seconds ahead of you. Bit of Van Wingard in 7th behind him though. Great look, riding on with Luke Fallon here in 4th place. Stephen Varga up there in 3rd in front of him. On him. That's Yas Thriller there. He's making a run past Hayden Watson, who's actually back in 12th place. So Obviously not going to make that pass too difficult. He's just going to let him by so he can get back to his race. So Jackson Sufong looks like there in the 8 car. They're behind him in the 9 car actually. Vladimir Shumilov in 9th. 8th car is in 8th. 9th car is in 9th. That threw me for a bit of a loop then. 10 minutes remaining in this race. The 97 car is about to come over the start-finish line and begin at the 30th lap. The rest of these cars we're watching, they're still on that 29th lap, racing their way through the battle as best they can. But Ryan Hunter is on a Gen3 V8 Supercar tear. Will rightfully wear the crown that Bugs Bunny wears in his profile pic when he's on this screen. Cars on the oh, look out, looks like the 9 Vladimir Shumilov has gotten loose, managed to get onto the brakes, could not avoid the contact, but managed to get on the brakes to sort of prevent any off-track slidage or any other further damage. Was able to get it going back in the right direction pretty quickly. A Central Eastern European driver. Still watching, Griff. What flag's that? 9th place, the blue one with the yellow sort of circle made out of little things. A few more laps remain. We hit the 52-minute mark. 8 minutes left in this race. That's the EU flag. Thank you, Shrubs. So Central Eastern European. It's probably just the best description. Ready, set, sim. 8 of Jackson Sufong avoids. Not sure who that was. Let's look on the map. The 96, I believe. Hayden Watson got a little bit loose, shot off the outside of the track. Jackson was able to avoid the contact. So we watched Vladimir Shumilov, and who is this? That is Jackson. They're battle it out. Back there behind them is that's not Kelvinder Singh, that is 97. That is Ryan Hunter, our race leader. Oops, put streamer mode on, Bob. Bong in the 104 Motorsports 8 machine. Briefly see our race leader Ryan Hunter there in the 97 Team OCE car. Side by side with Jackson. And it looks like another driver there. I think that was Vladimir Shumilov. Do not... I like what we're seeing, but you don't want to race the leader too much in a championship round race. Because if you're the one that costs him that spot, there is going to be a very, very animated... pit lane. down into the final 5 minutes of this race. Looks like our race leader Ryan Hunter has got past Vladimir Shumilov and Jackson Sufong. Ram Jam in the chat. Cliff Potter has made his way from the pits over to the Pit Crew YouTube computer. How are you, Ram Jam? It's been a great season watching your race, brother. I look forward to many more races. I have agreed to, I'm not sure if they're changing nights, but I have agreed to a different night as well as this one in principle. So basically Sunday night's this new night, but I'm not sure exactly what's going on. So hopefully see a lot more on our screens in the near future. Where is the 97? He's coming down the longest part of the track, the backstretch. There's Robert Chandler. Looks like that might be the 12 of Ben Mead behind him. But 2 laps down, but definitely making him race for the track position. So the 707, Wade Georgeson and Kelvinder sitting both in the pits. Kelvinder's parked that car. He's officially out of this race. Don't think there's enough laps for Wade Georgeson to get those 5 extra laps back in. So Kelvinder will lock in 13th place. Ben Mead currently in 12th. Hayden Watson 11th. Our top 10 to 5s. Wayne Rogers in 10th. 9th. Rob Chandler. Jackson Sufong in 8th. Vladimir Shumilov in 7th. Peter Van Wingard 6th. Top 5 is Juha Cirilla, our 4th place driver. Luke Fallon currently. Stephen Varga in 3rd. Joshua Rimmer is 2nd. Ryan Hunter, our race leader, points leader, and impending V8 Supercars Gen 3 champion, Ryan Hunter. Of cars, some of them finding a lot more easier to race up close and personal. Still a bit misty, but that lack of sort of downpour and retaining the water on the track, it's dried up a lot. It's come a bit more sunny. Boys have been able to race this last third of the race a little bit more comfortably, a little bit more competitively. Still able to lose a little bit of traction on the track. That could just be that they didn't take tyres when they went in for pits. So those tyres, now the track's starting to dry up, is able to sort of wear out a little bit more there. Deal with a different type of traction loss. Looks like the 97 car is about to start the 35th lap. He has this possibly will be the last lap. Less than a minute 10 remaining. Let's go give the man his flowers. What a good cam. I like one. 7, only a handful of turns to go. This left-handing hairpin into a right-hander. Doesn't really have much in the way of competition. .420 just moves over. That's Wayne Rogers who'll concede that line for Ryan Hunter as he comes down to the final right-hand turn. Barney's going to whip that checkered flag out of the box. He is going to get ready to wave it because Ryan Hunter has won the 8th and final round of the 420 Austin Racing League's Gen3 V8 Supercar Racing competition. He has taken out the Okayama International, I'm about to call it Independent, so International Circuit. Looks like Vladimir Shumilov spinning out there, unfortunately, at the last lap. But by doing so, I believe also takes out the competition, will take out the championship for this division. So congratulations, Ryan Hunter. We'll get a better look around, and a lot of those other cars starting to pull up. Unfortunately, it won't give me the official grid results until everyone has crossed the finish line or has left the session. So we just have to wait this little bit out. There's the teammates, Ryan Hunter and Joshua Rimmer, just celebrating that victory there. We'll go through. Ryan Hunter obviously first, Joshua Rimmer second. Looks like there's only a couple of cars still left on the track. Luke Fallon is one of them as well. Sue Fong, there's Rob Chandler getting some burnouts in while he's still got some track time available. There's Hayden Watson and there's Ben Mead. Wade Georgeson parked himself in the grass for some photos. Just while we await some results. Here we go. Thank you, race results person. All right, so officially scoring in 17th place, Jacob Trainer from Team SRW Motorsports. Quantum Motorsports, Alex Court in 16th. And we had a couple of 420 Oz drivers, Cliff Potter and Wade Georgeson in 15th and 14th. The Hyperbulls Pro driver, Kelvinder Singh, 13th. Privateer Ben Mead in 12th. Hayden Watson from 104 Motorsports in 11th. Top 10, Wayne Rogers alongside his 420 compatriot, Robert Chandler in 10th and 9th. 104 Motorsports teammate Jackson Sufong in 8th. 420 Oz Racing driver Juha Surila in 7th. Peter Van Wingart from 723 Racing in 6th. Our top 5 driver Vladimir Shumilov. Tickford Racing driver Luke Fallon in 4th. Quantum Pecky's Racing driver Stephen Varga in 3rd. Joshua Rimmer and his teammate for OCE in 1st. Ryan Hunter, Joshua Rimmer's second team. Ryan Hunter. I'll start again. Joshua Rimmer, Ryan Hunter second and 1st. I took a gamble on the dry and went back in the next lap, but unfortunately took the gamble. Yeah, it's. I haven't experienced the wet yet, so that does not look fun. But I look forward to seeing more of it. As I said, I'm not sure if the boys sticking with Sunday nights, but they do know I have Sunday nights free, obviously. They did inquire about a separate night. I said, yep, let's do that. We can do that. That works. And that will be coming up towards the end of June, so stay tuned for that. But for now, yeah, that is our last Gen3 V8 Supercar broadcast for the meantime. It's been an absolute pleasure dealing with the boys. They're great on the track. They've been very entertaining drivers. I've had the pleasure in terms of the 420 crew dealing with Wade and Frankie. So it's been awesome, and I look forward to many more races. This is going to be such a great little thing going on, and they've got a good bunch. And it's as I say, I was stoked to come along to an Aussie league, but the fact that it's sort of 50-50 Aussie versus the world, I like it. I like it. We get to see what the world can do. We get to show what us Aussie boys can do, and I get to put it out there for everyone to watch. So thank you, everyone, for wasting your time by spending it with me. Love you so much for it, for little Wodo, for Ram Jam, for Shrubs, Griff. Who else was there? There was Dr. Laz, Darren Mart. Um, Jackson was in here for a bit as well. Rav from my other life. Appreciate you all for KC and Interceptor for the likes and follows. Appreciate it. I do a little bit. I do a lot of racing. We've got some more coming back tomorrow. V8 Super, not V8 Super, because Knuckleheads iRacing League. That is some dirt racing. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Australian mornings. I also stream some games. Used to be semi-regularly, but we're just having a little bit of a break at the moment due to circumstances. But Shrubgod and I, Griff as well, often game a lot together. So look out for those on Twitch. And yeah, I mean, there's a GIF in the 420 Discord that one of the boys just posted. It's Porky Pig, and the I won't do the blah 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 blah. That's all, folks, because that sounds stupid saying it. But that's literally it, guys. That is all, folks. Thank you so much for joining in. Um, like I say, like, follow, subscribe. My YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. They're all BobbethTV, and you can keep abreast of what I'm doing and avoid it, or to come along and watch if you like. But I, I joke really badly. Look, you know the drill, guys. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.